Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1.
Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into a special edition of the JP Peterson Show here as we come to you live from the Valspar for the first round of the Valspar Championship here. Beautiful setting here. We're enjoying the incredible weather. It's about 72 degrees, a little light breeze. We're out here by the pool, by the Frenchie's pool party going on, which is where we always hang out. Why not? Rondé Barber is going to join us. Just texted me, said he's coming over in about 3 minutes. So we expect to have the Hall of Famer coming over. So good morning to you, Tim Ham. Unfortunately, in our studio, FanStream Sports Dallas, you could be sitting right here next to me.
I know.
But you're not.
I could be over there sparing Rondé to death. How come you never played for the Cowboys, Rondé? I hated your brother because he was a Giant.
Yeah. No, you could share that with him. You can share when he gets here, but
I probably won't say that.
Just not face to face. Not face to face. So yeah, it's a beautiful setup here. Also, Scott Hamilton's going to join us from the Post and Courier. Which tournament will he be? Which regional will he be attending? Is he going to one of the March Madness?
He and Johnny, I don't know. I know he and Johnny are going to be live together at Harbortown for the RBC PGA event. I'm not sure where he is bracket wise. Yeah, that's next week. I don't know where he's going to be bracket wise though. We'll find out.
Well, he was just at the ACC tournament and wrote a great piece on how it just ain't the same. So we'll talk to Scotty Hamilton at 11:30, I believe. And
correct.
We'll have some other guests stopping by from time to time, and we'll have your comments already coming in. Good morning to you, Nathan Elliott and John Hill. And we'll get to all the other sports as well. The Lightning back in action tonight against your Dallas Stars. Are you headed over to the game tonight, Timmy?
I will be at the game tonight, yep.
Nice. Yep. Where are the Stars right now? How are they playing? How's Miko fitting in, ranting in?
You know, we talked about this on the Colby Sapp and IndyCar Tim show last night. Of course, I had to preview Lightning and Stars for everybody. And I think the two teams are in very similar spots. They both had great Februaries. They both made big trades. And they're both kind of struggling since the trades to get people fitting in certain places, right? Both coaches, DeBoer and Cooper, are juggling lines, trying to figure out who belongs where, and they're both struggling scoring right now. They're very mirror images of each other.
Yeah, it's interesting. Cooper was talking about this after practice yesterday. After they looked at the tape, he said, we played slow against Philadelphia, which is not something we've ever really heard him say about his team or seen from his team. And it was just more puck management, not being able to get the guys going up the ice, which is what obviously Pointer and Cooch want to do, and Cirelli and Hagel, high energy guys, fast skaters. They want to be going up and down the ice. And Philadelphia kind of plays that structure where they clog up the neutral zone. So we'll see tonight. I'd love to see. I mean, with the talent on both of these teams, two Stanley Cup contenders, I mean, you could definitely see these guys rematching in the Stanley Cup Finals. So we saw what,
I love that.
23, was it?
Yeah.
23?
So.
Yeah, so looking forward to the game tonight. 8 o'clock puck drop Eastern time. So we'll talk a little bit more about the Lightning as we go through. So let me set up the field here this week. 24 of the top 50 golfers in the world are here. In fact, they're already out on the course this morning. Beautiful day, absolutely beautiful. A little windy though. It's a little breeze. I would say probably gusting 10 to 15, which will definitely affect the scores here today. The Copperhead is one of the best courses. The players absolutely love it. The rough is up, so I'll leave it to Rondé to tell me what the players are saying in terms of what scores might be. So I think it's going to be a good week, obviously, for golf, and the weather looks fantastic. We got the concert on Saturday night. It's going to be fantastic. So, but this morning, Xander Schauffele went off at 8:13. I haven't checked the leaderboard just yet, my friend. If you want to jump on there and see who's doing what. So he went off.
struggling mightily right now this year, coming off the rib injury.
Yeah.
Not playing well he's still number 3 in the world, which Johnny and I debated on From the Rough last night. The way they rank these guys, you don't ever lose points in the rankings for not playing for 2 months, which I feel you should, but he's just not playing well right now.
Well, he talked to the media yesterday, I believe it was, and talked a little bit about his injury and said that, practice has been hard. It's hard to get enough practice with that injury. And he actually went a little overboard last week, he said, and it may have set him back a little bit. But for the most part, it's going to take a little bit for him to get back to his normal form.
Yeah.
How about a seat right here, partner? Look at the bucket hat he's wearing too. The great.
I'm jealous of the bucket hat.
I know that is one heck of a bucket hat.
Look at that.
Let me get you hooked up here with your little microphone. You can clip that on anywhere you like. How are you, partner? All right. Yeah,
I'm not bad.
How are you?
I'm tired.
You're tired. You're tired.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm really
Well, how many rounds of golf you played Monday in the Pro-Am, right?
I played every possible Pro-Am out here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at the Pelican, and then yesterday.
Damn, that's a lot of golf.
It's going good though.
How you playing? Your team won the other day, didn't it? How do you win your own tournament?
We don't like to talk about that. But
How do you win your own tournament?
we did in fact win on Monday. We played good on Wednesday. We just didn't win. It just particular day. It was windy on Monday. Really windy on Monday actually. And I shot 75. So
Damn, 75 on a PGA setup course.
I mean, we were playing from 6,400 yards. So.
6,400.
Yeah.
Still,
Still.
75. That's pretty
I'm not
good.
taking that away from him.
I mean, I did shoot 72 here on one media day, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to one up you or anything.
Without the rough up.
Probably it was much different. It was when it was the fall tournament.
Right.
So speaking of the rough, I was just going to ask you about that. What are the guys saying? What are they? What number are we looking at here to win this week?
I don't know what the players are saying. I know that with Sam and I played with Sam Burns yesterday and Victor Perez, who's a beautiful human being, by the way, nice guy. Don't get in it.
Don't get in the rough.
It was pretty funny because he made a comment to me because I started off on one. My first tee shot was a hook into the rough. My subsequent shot was a hook into the rough, and then the next hole was hook, all in the rough. He goes, I see you're got a good strategy here. You're taking all your rough swings early in the day, so you don't have to do it. I was in a tour meeting the other day, and it's 3.5 inches right now. They're not touching it again. They'll probably get to 4.5. It'll be the great equalizer, and put a premium on guys having hit it in the fairway.
Can they stop the ball on these greens coming out of the rough?
Not likely. I mean, maybe with wedges and short irons, but the reality is these greens are also pretty awesome right now. I mean, I think they're going to be at 12.5 the entire week, and the slopes on these greens. If you miss it in the wrong spot, you got zero chance. So.
That tells me we might have single digits this week.
I think there's only been a handful of times that we've gotten below like 10 or 11 under for a total winner. So, I mean, assuming the weather stays nice, you might be able to get down there, but I would likely think it's 2 or 3 under a day is going to be the norm.
Wow, that's good preparation for a lot of these guys that are looking at the Masters in a couple of weeks.
Sure, absolutely.
That's why they're here. A lot of them. We got 24 of the top 50.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty phenomenal, given that you guys are not a signature event.
Yeah,
and the calendar coming off the players and Masters coming. That's a hell of a job. Congratulations to you and Tracy and everybody. It's a great field.
I mean, I'll give Tracy a lot of that credit. Obviously, she's the master manipulator. She gets in your head and just starts making you believe you want to be here, and then all of a sudden they're here.
Yeah.
No, she's really good at what she does, and obviously I think most importantly they like this date on the calendar. It follows 2 signature events technically with API and then the players. But it's a couple of weeks before the Masters, right? Some of these guys will take Texas off, right? Some of them will go there, like Akshay, who's not in our field. He was one of our withdrawals. He's defending, so he's going to Texas, right? But I think they like the atmosphere here, right? Yeah. Besides it being the most colorful PGA Tour event in the world,
yes.
It's spring break and everybody can stay on property. So you see a lot of families here. A lot of tour players bring their families specifically for this event. Obviously, this Palm Harbor area is a great place to vacation. The beaches are very close.
Yeah.
So there's plenty to do, and I think they like the golf course, the test of the golf course, this part of the season.
So what does the future hold for Valspar? First and foremost, congratulations. You got Valspar to sign up for what, another 4 years?
5 years.
5 years. Dude, that's in this corporate climate, that's something special that you guys have been able to do and keep this PGA Tour event here for us.
I think it speaks volumes to their commitment, to be honest with you. Their parent company, Sherwin-Williams' commitment, to stay invested in this community. And I would say, when Sherwin acquired Valspar, I don't think that they were completely sold. And their CEO at the time, a guy named John Maricas, who just moved aside for a lovely lady named Heidi Petz, who's leading them now. But when he came, I think he was probably of the mindset that, let me find out what this is all about. I'm not sure that we need to still be involved in this. And we won him over, not only as a tournament, but as a Copperhead board. So a lot of credit to Jim Ice, who was the general chairman at that point, Keith Robinson, who had just stepped down. They got them over the hump, so to speak. So they re-upped, and then the contract comes up now, and they're still heavily invested in it. It's a great place for them to entertain their clients in town, out of town, suppliers, vendors, and whatnot. And they've doubled up with us, really, in that they have committed to this community. Yeah. So yes, it's benefiting their corporate structure, but they've also just decided that this area, this Palm Harbor, Tampa Bay area in general, is something that they want to be heavily invested in. And so getting a 5-year deal through 2030 is really big, man.
That's
We're
huge.
all very proud of it.
We have so many great things here in our area. Spring training obviously going on now, the Grand Prix, but this event at one time was like, it was self funding for a couple of years. Didn't even have a sponsor. It was close to going away.
Yep.
What you guys have done in the past 10 years and in the past 3 years since you've been chair is just amazing.
Right.
And we thank you for it, because it's one of the great things to be able to come see the PGA Tour out here in our backyard at this venue, which is awesome. If you've not been out here, tell the folks about some of the other hospitality things that they can do out here. Even if you're not a golf fan, this has become the social place to be. If you didn't figure that out yet,
right? So that you mentioned us being the Tampa Bay Championship that 1 year. Valspar was the title that came in and saved us then. But what they brought was all this color, and it's this idea of being bright and lighting up everybody's day or weekend or whatever it is. And so with that came a ton of different activations. Their brand managers, Sarah Hackney, who works with us from Valspar, her ideas of how to brighten up this course and making fun activities for families has been, paramount to our success. You said it. I'm just regurgitating what you already said. The golf is great. The hospitality is great. But what's most important is when you attract fans that aren't necessarily golf fans coming out here just to watch the day and enjoy the different activations around the course.
And kids get in free.
Yeah, kids get in free.
15
and under get in free.
How about that?
So they can go down to the Publix Chill Lounge, which is sponsored by the Polywogs this year, which they stepped up for us for big time for that sponsorship. And there's all kinds of food trucks all on the course and tons of stuff to do. So it's an awesome 4-day event for us.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of the pro-ams this week? You have any good stories, good pro stories besides you hooking it in the rough and winning your own tournament?
That was actually Monday. This is a good story, actually. Yeah. So Monday I played with Alejandro Tosti.
Yes.
And he wasn't in the field. He was the first alternate. And it was interesting. I got paired with him because I saw Bill Gramatic, who I think he's staying with this week, earlier that day. He's like, "Oh, you're playing with Alejandro. You'll love him. He's a great guy. He's kind of quiet, but you get him talking. He's fun." So anyways, we're on, I forget what even tee it was. I think it was 11. Tracy comes up to us and says, Akshay withdrew. I'm like, "Oh, that means Alejandro's in."
He's in. So you got to tell him.
So we got to tell him that he was in right there on the court. So it was obviously bittersweet. Akshay Bhatia is one of our favorite golfers here because we gave him his first PGA Tour start when he was 17 years old or something.
Good God.
However many years ago, and he's always been committed to coming back here. And he wanted to work, and like I said, he's defending later in a couple of weeks.
Damn near won the Players
right,
last week.
Right. So I think
really
he wanted a break, but at the same time, you get to see the pathway of a guy like Alejandro, who's going to get a start here on tour when he was alternate just a couple of minutes before.
Welcome to the tournament. Welcome to the tournament.
It's pretty cool.
All right, so let's. Can I ask you a couple Bucks questions as well?
I mean, I might know something.
Well, let's talk about the 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
That's coming up.
Right.
You put out that sizzle reel, and this documentary. Happen to know some folks working on it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see this thing. Bucks fans, like we're talking last. We should do this at the stadium.
Yeah.
This thing is going to be. I think it's going to be 2 hours long or episodes. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be, but they are interviewing everybody, except me. I can't believe they didn't interview me. Jerks. Covering his team for 100 years. But anyway,
you're not quite that
it's
old.
Not about me. It's not about me. But it's going to be amazing. Let's do it at the stadium. Let's put 65,000 people in there. Put it up on the boards.
I can make a call.
Yeah.
Put that what you just said out virally, and then
come on, Brian Ford,
and I'll say yes.
I know the fans would go for it.
Absolutely.
I mean,
if the Bananas can do it, Rondé can do it.
Right? If we can have baseball there, let's have a movie. Let's have a movie premiere.
That was also another story. I probably should have mentioned that on my Monday, the day we won. I played with the Savannah Bananas.
You played with them?
Yeah,
they were out here?
I played with two of them, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jesse?
No, Dustin and...
Oh, they were part of the winning team as well. They play golf, too?
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Really
well.
They
play golf? I think I think Dustin turned down a golf scholarship to go play baseball.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, but he hits the ball 400 yards, man.
Does the one guy play golf on stilts?
I'm sure they could. Did
you go to the banana thing on?
I was supposed to,
yeah.
but I was grand marshal of the Rough Rider.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
We saw me,
yeah.
and
I was hosting. Yeah,
I didn't quite make it.
It doesn't surprise me. It does not surprise me. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all.
I need to get some sleep to get ready.
We went to Flow Rider. We went to Flow Rider, and that was awesome.
Right. I need to get some sleep to prepare for this week. So I went home with that. So Bucks, yeah.
So the 50th anniversary, you're going to be a big part of that. The documentary, all that. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I've already interviewed. I think most of us have already interviewed. They've done a fantastic job. They outsourced that to a guy who has been a Bucks fan his whole life.
Yeah, Trent Cooper.
Yeah, Trent. And,
really talented, Emmy award-winning director,
absolutely.
8 sports Emmys.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not some cheesy production, JP Peterson production.
No, they went all out. They went all out on this, and rightfully so. There's a great story to tell from the inception of this franchise, 50 years ago to what became a 2-time Super Bowl winning franchise. That's had wild success here recently and through the middle. Through the
what do we have? 5 Hall of Famers now.
We have 5.
Tony counting 6.
6 if you include Tony. So, it's a fantastic documentary. I've kind of gotten some peeks at what's going on too, and it's going to be really, really cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. They just signed brought back Bryce Hall, who I thought was a great pickup last year, but he gets injured in the first game. It looks like Jamel is going to stay. I thought Jamel Dean might be gone, but I guess it looks like he's going to stay at this point, and they're going to draft the corner. Probably. Yeah. What do you think? Is Tyke going to move to safety? Should he move to safety? Be as good as he is.
I would love to see Tyke on the field more.
Yeah.
I think he's a kind of a dynamic player, and he's got a lot of the qualities that I think make football players really successful, and including most importantly the will and want, because the guy is not scared to try to make an impression on the field. That's the best way I can say that. Being nice on your radio show, on your show here.
You can cuss.
Right.
You can cuss.
But yeah, you can never, JP, have enough corners.
Yeah.
You just can't. In today's NFL, you run through them, and there needs to be competition at the position, right? And I think if I look back to my career, if I can go retrospect here a little bit, the competition I had at my position is the reason why I kind of drove myself to become the player that everybody now knows of me. And so, like, being anointed and not really having much pressure from upward pressure, doesn't really
help you.
doesn't produce or
Yeah.
doesn't produce the results, man. So like I think you can't have enough edge rushers as well. I'd be shocked if they didn't go out and try to find an edge rusher in the draft. Yes, they brought in Hassan Reddick, but
Yeah, you like that move? I love it.
I do.
That
1 year
guy's been
deal.
super productive.
Yeah, it's a 1 year deal, right? We as Tampa fans, the Bucks and him all know what it's about. Like you got a year to go do this, and we need that kind of urgency at the position. I mean,
Yes.
our 2 interior defensive linemen are our leading sackers.
Yeah.
For 2 straight years,
And they're fantastic.
yeah, and they're fantastic. But
Get an edge rush.
yeah, they can't. That can't really be your MO though. You need edge pressure. Your edge guy needs to be generating, 12 to hopefully 20 sacks a year. You know what I mean? That's when you know that you're really putting pressure on the quarterback. Now Yaya had a good year, right? He had a ton of pressures, but he hasn't really delivered on the sacks. And that number really kind of jumps out at you because a sack. I think you can probably go find this. You're kind of a nerd. Yeah.
It's a drive killer.
I think it's something like 80 something.
80%.
Yeah, something like 80% of a sack in that drive doesn't end in a score.
Yeah.
So we just need more of it. So
yeah. Well, and I think not only the interior guys, but Yaya being a 2 instead of a 1 is where he is, right? And then you go draft a kid, maybe a Mike Green out of Marshall. I think that's his name. Or one of these young, they got a lot of good young pass rushers, and at 19, there's going to be one there.
Right.
So you're stacking the position.
Right. I mean,
I love that.
You would expect that, right?
Yeah,
I brought back Chris.
Yeah.
Our offensive line is intact. I think we love our running backs. Right?
Yeah, we do.
Pretty sure we
They're
love
pretty
them.
good.
I mean, there's no real need. If you're the Bucks and you're trying to draft for need, that's certainly it. I mean, maybe they'll draft, best player available type thing. If they fit the culture, the type of player that the Bucks want, because I think Jason Light and his staff have done a great job not drafting people that don't love football. Right.
Well, I was going to ask you about the culture, because this is something that you guys, when you won the Super Bowl, had created this culture.
Yeah.
It kind of went away for a while. And then I thought Bruce Arians brought it back.
Right.
He started it. Brady kind of took it to the next level.
Yeah.
And Baker's been able to continue it as a leader of this team.
Yeah.
And it's the best culture I think I've ever seen in football. Now, it's not going to win you a Super Bowl, but it's going to help you.
Right.
And because it brings back guys. Guys want to be here, and they come back for less money.
Right.
Chris could have taken more money.
Right.
Mike could have taken more.
Right.
Baker could have.
Right.
They all could have.
Right.
This
I
is rare.
Tony and Rich. I'm only a Buccaneer because of the guy I was. I know that for a fact, because obviously my combine
Wasn't
number,
your height?
right?
And your 40 time?
40 time didn't blow anybody away, right? But the player that I was, not only how I was personally, but how I expressed myself on the football field, the willingness to do it. And so I remember talking to them many years later. They're like, you were the kind of guy that we wanted on our football team. And when I got here, everybody was like that. I mean, there was obviously there's some exceptions, if you will, on any team, but it was very specific. Jason and these guys are doing the same thing now. It's very specific, the type of guy that they're looking for, and when they find them, they keep them. That's why these guys. That's
a good thing, right?
That's why these guys have decided to stay. The culture's good. The winning attitude is there. You have the talent that can actually produce wins. Obviously, you won the division 4 years in a row. Say what you want to about the division. I don't give a damn. Right? They won division 4 years in a row. There's not a lot of teams that can say that. And so I think the reality is they're doing it the right way, and I don't expect them to change that this year or any year going forward.
And and that's what sustains.
Right.
You like Baker? I love that dude.
I fucking love Baker. Can I cuss for the first time?
He fucking loves Baker. That's what he said.
He's the greatest guy ever.
JP, can I pick his brain for a second?
Sure. Tim's in our Dallas affiliate.
Yeah, I'm way over here in Dallas, by the way. So you were on with the guys on DAE the other day, and you mentioned that the Bucks were probably going to target a corner. You sound very sure that they're going to be targeting a corner at some point in the draft. Did you have anybody in mind?
No.
And do you think that could be at number where they pick first? What is it, 19, their first 19. Pick?
No, you know what? I have done absolutely zero work on the draft. I'm kind of busy with.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
With this. I really haven't. I'm casually paying attention to the headliners, right? The quarterbacks, and where's Where's Travis Hunter going? Those type of things I know, and the edge rushers. Some of these big names that keep popping out there. But otherwise, no, I haven't done not one study on the corner. I mean, I could go into the building and find out.
Yeah,
I could go in and see who might.
That Azariah Thomas kid from Florida State looks.
Yeah, I mean, I know about him.
Yeah,
obviously, because just being in the general area here in Florida. But
we need to get a Seminole on this team.
Do we not have one?
We have not had one for quite some time, actually. So,
like
which is probably a good thing. It's probably why the Bucs are winning.
I feel like we won a Super Bowl with a pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Had a couple of them. Yeah. We had Brad Johnson. We had Derek, and the Crane. Spires.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. So we had 3, right? Anybody else?
Operator. I love that you know that.
Yeah.
The Crane operator.
The Crane.
Oh my God.
The Crane.
Put on a hard hat and go to work.
That dude was all business, man. All business. But so we're talking about Baker. Do you think, because I see this all the time, like, oh, the Bucs are good, but Baker can't win a Super Bowl. I think it's a stupid. His numbers are in the top 5 in almost every category.
Right. And he's probably top 3 or 4 arm strengths in the league.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that. If you go look at his scouting report, that's what it says about his arm strength. And then you watch some of the throws,
the velocity,
and you're just like, okay, yeah, that's true. Yes, he's not 6'3", beautiful looking physique quarterback,
long hair, beautiful Trevor Lawrence, well conditioned hair. I don't think that gets you any touchdown passes, but he looks good.
But he looks great. He looks great. But you watch the film, you're like, man, the film don't lie, man. Yeah. He makes every single throw, going out to his left, going out to his right, drop back, scrambling. I did a film session on him recently for the Bucs, and my favorite play was that in the San Francisco game when he's getting sacked and he's holding off a guy with one hand, and he just
I think it was both.
I think it was both. And he just fires this ball in there, and I'm like, oh my! Like, why? First of all, why did he try to throw that? And then the velocity that he got it to Rashad White was just like, holy cow! That was the most ridiculous throw that.
Bosa's reaction on that play was priceless too. He was like, "Mother, how the hell did you just do?"
Go get my keys right there to move my thing.
Thank you. See, we're producing on the air. Man. So I love him as a leader. And those 3rd and 8 runs and 3rd and 13 runs where he's knocking guys over, into the end zone. I mean, what's that worth for a team? When you see your guy do that,
it's everything. I mean,
it's everything.
There was a play. I think I also focused on this play. We're playing New Orleans that last game. We needed to win, although we ended up not actually needing to win because Atlanta lost. And we're down. We're losing. And we had zero energy in that game for some reason. And Baker scrambles out, runs for first down, kind of gets hit late or something happens on the bottom of the pile. He gets up, drags over him, and all of a sudden the team like immediately rallied around him. We go down and score on that drive, and then it turned. The momentum turned, and it was pretty cool to watch all year how he kind of single-handedly at times, drove energy into the team.
Yeah.
That's invaluable, right?
Yeah.
It's immeasurable. It's like there's no way to take away from that.
So you think this team can do it? I do. I think there's 8 teams every year, 8 to 9 teams that can win the Super Bowl.
Right.
Now you got to have the injuries go your way.
Right.
You got to win close games, and this is my biggest thing with the Bucs is they were 2-6 and 7-point games last year.
Yeah.
You got to be better.
Right.
You got to be better in those moments.
Right.
Game management has to be better, and I applaud Todd for saying they're going to hire a full-time game manager coach, which I think will help him. I think he's going to step back a little bit and get a little bit more involved in the macro instead of the micro of the defense. I think that's all good.
Right. I think to very succinctly answer what you just said, get stops on defense.
Yes.
I couldn't tell you how many times I was screaming this year, you just need one stop right now. One stop. I remember when I was playing, we get this one stop, we win this football game, right? We weren't scoring points.
Right.
We were just like, get this one stop. And I thought that stays in the
what goes into that?
Front of my head.
Is that leadership on the field? Is that
some. I mean, but the reality is it's details is what it is. It's details. And I can say that having watched every single snap of this team for the last how many years I've been retired? 13 years. God, I've been retired 13.
And your boy Levante still
14
playing.
14
You
years.
played with Levante,
Yeah,
and he's still
whatever.
playing.
Yeah, whatever year Levante is in, that's
This
how long.
is 14 for him.
Yeah, so I retired the year after his
Yeah.
rookie year. So
Yeah.
whatever. In that time, I've watched every single snap, and when the defense has been good, it's detail oriented.
Mhm.
When it hasn't been good, it's lack of details and fundamental understanding, and like the little things that get you beat, they get you beat.
Yeah.
Right? It just is what it is. So I think it's just a little attention to detail and focus on the fundamental things. Sometimes simple is better than complicated.
Yes.
That's what to me. I'm an outsider now.
Yeah.
I do have some insight.
I am.
It's that. It's just finding ways to do the little things better, right? And don't let little mistakes become big mistakes.
Well, listen, thank you for your time. You're very generous with your time. If you got a favorite here, who are you picking?
Oh, we did this last night at dinner. I was with a couple of the
Tom Kim?
I
like Tom Kim.
I was with a couple of the Valspar or Sherwin execs, and they were like, "All right, everybody pick a guy." All right, so my favorite, of course, is Sam Burns. Sam Burns is my favorite player on the floor.
Two-time winner.
He's two-time winner here, and I've got to become friends with him. So
Great
I
dude.
love him.
All right, so we pick him.
But this course, JP, for the last 5 winners were top 10 or something in strokes gained putting. So think about ball strikers all you want. To win on this golf course, you got to putt. So look at that list and you tell me who the best putters are in your estimation, and I guarantee you one of them will be the winner.
The putter. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, partner, thank you. Congratulations on another great field, another great week. Appreciate you coming by and having us out here.
Always, brother.
Love you, man.
You know I love you.
All right.
Anything you need.
The great Rondé Barber, right here.
You
get a picture? Did you get a picture of us? All right, come on. Can we get back? We have to get a picture for the promo.
Here we go.
We get to take one with Scotty as well.
Right. Watching live coverage of JP
taking pictures,
starting his modeling career with Rondé Barber.
Oh yeah, Vince is telling golf stories from yesterday. I got him drunk and took all his money. So,
yeah, why wouldn't you? Yeah, why not?
What? Yeah.
So why wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll have him on
dude,
later.
Man. What a good dude Rondé is.
He's the best. He's the best in the business. Best player, best representative. I mean, what he's done to this tournament is, he's obviously super humble and he gives Tracy all the credit, and Tracy does a great job as well. But, getting in this corporate environment right now, especially where the PGA Tour is, let's not sugarcoat it. I mean, it's completely watered down compared to where it used to be with Live Golf. That is what it is. And to be able to get, these are multi-million-dollar sponsorships. I believe it's $8 million for these sponsors per year annually.
Yeah.
And then a lot of that money goes to charity, especially here in this area. They do a fantastic job with getting, I think they're over $40-50 million to local charities over the span of the golf tournament. And so many of these charities depend on this money to actually stay afloat. So it's crucial to the community on so many levels. And for, Rondé and Tracy and their team to be able to get Valspar to jump on, and then, so we still have a PGA Tour event. I mean, they're highly competitive. I mean, we've been talking about the Rays and the sale and having a Major League Baseball team and what that means to your city and your area. Well, having a PGA Tour event also makes you a big league city, right?
Yep.
It's just part of it. It's part of it. And you don't want to lose them. And, and for a time, the public really didn't support this event either. Because, Pinellas County is a tough sell. And we see this with baseball. A lot of people in Pinellas County are on fixed incomes. They can't afford the tickets, although they do a great job here of getting, discount tickets for military, the elderly, kids get in free. But, just getting around, it's tough. Out here in Palm Harbor, it's a 45-hour-long trip from downtown Tampa from Hillsborough. So for a long time, they weren't getting a lot of public support, but now it's an absolute must. Everybody in Hillsborough County and the surrounding counties from Bradenton, Sarasota, everybody comes here and enjoys this golf tournament because they've made it such a fan-friendly environment. It's inexpensive compared to opening day seats for the Rays. So they've done a hell of a job, and great insight on the Bucs as well. Isn't that it's great that, when you have a champion like Rondé. And of course, he worked for many years on Fox analyzing the game. And I think he's one of the best on TV. I'd love to see him get back on TV because there's a lot
of time.
Right. Well, once these girls graduate college, they're done playing sports, and I don't know how long this is going to last for him. He's, they changed the rules so they can keep him on indefinitely.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't you? I mean, he's got so many great talents. I mean, not only does he know the PGA Tour, he knows the players. He could be a great ambassador for PGA Tour. He's an absolute savant when it comes to Premier League football in Manchester United. Having obviously befriended the Glazers, and so he could be an executive in that league. And obviously, I think he would make a tremendous general manager of a football team like John Lynch. But that may be more of a commitment than he's willing to give because he likes his golf. He likes his golf and he likes, his life. He's got a wonderful life, a lot of great friends, a beautiful wife, wonderful children. And obviously, if you're a GM, it's a grind. Yep. But I think he would be fantastic at it. And I think maybe if he starts missing the competitive, nature of, I guess you go out and shoot 75 and win your own tournament. You still got those competitive juices flowing. But,
absolutely.
He can do anything he wants to do. And I would love to see him get back in the booth because I think he's really, really good at that. Really, really good. All right, we'll take a break. And when we come back, we'll get into some of these other things. We got some Rays tidbits as well. Chris Lodvilla, the number one Stu troll, is at it this morning. So we got to read his mean tweets like we love doing. You guys have some questions or comments in the comments. We'll get to that as well. We'll talk some more Bucks, some lightning. It's all here. We're live from the Valspar, round one. We'll give you the leaderboard update when we come back as well. And we're brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. They're local, they are trusted, and they get results. If you're involved in an accident or have any legal questions, they will give you a free case evaluation. Just email them, call them up. You can get it from the website, JEEVES lawgroup.com. Non-attorney spokesman, offices, Tampa, St. Pete. Back in 3 to the Valspar.
Old Hurricane Helene put a hurting on Tampa Bay, and for many of you, the rebuild will be a long process. You must beware of unscrupulous contractors offering up quick fixes for incredible prices. It's a scam. So go with long-standing reputable companies like Third Generation Plumbing and AC. My friend John Rodriguez has been serving Tampa Bay since 1995 with hundreds of 5-star reviews. If you need a new AC system or any home repairs from Helene, they will work with insurance companies to get you taken care of quickly, expertly installed, of course, and a 1-year maintenance plan and 10-year warranty included on all AC units. 0% financing for 60 months. Contact them at thirdgenerationplumbing.com or 813-961-8024. That's 813-961-8024, thirdgenerationplumbing.com. So many of our Tampa Bay neighbors are finding out the hard way from Hurricane Helene that homeowners insurance does not cover flood damage. You must have flood insurance. It's a separate policy. Immediately call Italiano Insurance at 813-877-7799, and they will shop around to find the best policy before rates go up. Lock it in. Over 60% are underinsured in Florida, or you're not getting your discounts that you're entitled to. So do an insurance checkup at Italiano, and they could save you thousands of dollars. Italiano will make sure you're with a highly rated insurer, so there are no surprises in your time of need. Our hearts go out to all our neighbors devastated by Helene. These are the times we're proud to protect all the pieces of your life. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salsicce salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite. I love it. So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, coming to you live poolside at the Frenchie's Pool Party at the Valspar Championship. This is one of the great hospitalities out here. They start making that she crab soup and frying up the oysters and the shrimp. Oh, it smells so good. Frenchie's food, so good here. Come on down, ValsparChampionship.org, I believe is where you get your tickets, or .com. And a lot of good hospitality left. Fitzy and I will be doing the Hooters Owl's Nest later today, Timmy. I know you're jealous. You could have been here.
I am.
Chicken wings and beer, baby. And
I know those $1,800 first class tickets from Dallas to Tampa were just too much for me.
Well, you don't have to. Big money. You can fly Spirit like I do.
Oh, God.
Get you that extra big
Surprised
seat.
you're still alive.
Oh my God! It's like other airlines are better. At least they land on the wheels. They don't they don't have lady pilots rolling them over.
Oh,
What did I say? Something wrong? Did I say something incorrect?
no, not at all.
Huh?
Usually it's me saying stuff like that.
Well, it's what's true. You know. Anyway, we're brought to you by the great folks at the Golden Diamond Source. It's Match Madness. Match Madness. $1,000 gift card. They will match it, so you'll get another $1,000 to spend. So that's put out $1,000, get $2,000 gift cards. Then you can give one to your lady friend, your wife, whatever you want to do, and you get that double match there. So now through the end of the week, through the 23rd, it's the $1,000 match for the Golden Diamond Source. And guys, they have a new men's area there, so you can go find a great Rolex watch. They have those pre-owned and new ones. Get yourself a necklace, get yourself a bracelet, any of that cool stuff. And now you can do it with a double match, $1,000 match up to $1,000. So go take advantage of that at the Gold and Diamond Source. We have a on-course reporter here joining us. Yes. Come on over here, on-course reporter.
What's up, guys?
This is the great
Timmy.
The great Scott Fitzgerald.
There he is.
Clip him on right here. I sent him out to get to the 10th tee and the first tee. What's it look like out there, course reporter?
These guys are hitting smashing drives. I guess the best spot to hang out when you get out here right outside the pool area is hole number 1 and 10 tee box. So you can actually go and watch the 10 guys tee off and then go back to 1. And just a great area. But most of these guys are hitting bombs. Hitting bombs, 300 yards. It was like you yesterday. By the way, for the record, this guy right here,
I'm back, baby.
27 holes. I think I was up the first 5-4 in the Skins game, but
I bombed a couple birdies on you.
he overserved me with some brewskis. That's what he does, is he'll keep playing with you, and then that's when he starts winning money off you. So my wallet's a lot lighter this morning because of this guy.
I got him drunk, and he just kept betting, Timmy. He just wouldn't stop. He's
I
like,
was good after 18, Tim. I should have stopped.
$10.
It was the 27 holes.
Scott, that's the same thing he does to me on the show. He gets me drunk and makes me look like the idiot.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy how he does that? He's good at it. He's good at it.
I just take advantage of your weaknesses. That's all.
You do.
That's
I
good
love
strategy.
liquor.
That's good strategy.
Hey, Timmy, who do you like out here? Give me a couple golfers you like.
Yeah,
Well,
where's you got Johnny's picks?
You know what? If
From
you
the
give me
show
like
last night?
if you give me like 1 second, I can get up on the screen here for you.
Tim Burns has won this twice, right?
Yeah.
So he's
Did
got
you see him hit?
I didn't see Sammy hit, but
Well, on 10, it's downhill.
Yeah.
So these guys just hit bombs. They hit 350.
Yeah.
I mean, just crushing it. And then on number 1, which actually is probably downwind today.
Yeah.
It's a par 5, a very reachable par 5 from where they hit it. Like
Sure.
a lot of guys, they were going
yards.
left. 2 of the guys went basically left off the cart path.
Yeah.
Hit some long
See, if you hit it in the fairway, you're going to probably have a good chance to get home in 2. But if you hit it in the rough on 1, you're screwed. And they've shrunk these fairways down. So, I don't know how wide number 1 is, but it's so you're going to have to drive the ball. The guys that can drive the ball straight and putt this week, I think, will be.
the rough is tough. The rough is hard to hit the balls. Yeah, hit
It's very
irons at it.
penal. It's one of my favorite words in golf. It's very
Penal?
penal. It's
It's
penal
your
rough.
favorite word everywhere. Here are my picks from yesterday's From the Rough Golf
Oh, wow.
podcast.
Timmy's picks.
All right.
I had Jordan at 40-1. He's not playing well right now, but I was hoping for a spark on the last tournament of the Florida swing. Yeah.
Yeah, he went off early. What's he at? You got a leaderboard there?
Unfortunately, I do on Jordan. Jordan, if I can go down far enough to find him.
Holy crap. That's not good.
Hey, Timmy, I saw Neil Shipley tee off. That guy could he can smash the ball.
Ohio State, yeah.
He outdrove the two other guys that he was playing with.
Here were Johnny's picks though for yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Corey Connors, Lucas Glover, Canadian, Alex Smalley. Yeah, Lucas played well last week at the Players. Old man. What is he, like 46, 48 now? And he's playing well. And Connors played well last
Connors
week.
Played well.
Oh, Jordan doesn't tee off until afternoon.
And Smalley.
Okay. Well, then I thought it's going off this morning.
It says 12:23 Eastern time.
Yeah, Schauffele went off with Sepp Straka and Adam Scott.
Yes.
Who's in the lead?
Right now, we've got, if I exit out of this, you've got Casimir Keith Mitchell, who just birdied number 10 to go at 4 under. He's a stroke ahead of Steven Yeager and Harry Hall, both at 3 under. Jacob Bridgman and Nikolai Højgaard at 2 under.
Nikolai Højgaard. Wow.
Yeah.
So 4 under already through 10 holes?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sam Burns is T4 at 2 under through 8.
Okay. Yeah, watch out for Sam Burns. He's playing with Tom Kim and Malnati, who won last year. Great story. He was. Right there. Had his whole family out there and hadn't won in 7-8 years on tour. Been out there with the bucket hat on, and that was a great story last year.
We got Shane Lowry out there too. He tees off at 134. We need to go.
Love me some Shane Lowry, man.
Lowry's from Clary County, Offaly, Ireland. It's it. St. Patrick's Day this week. Go for the Irishman.
Have a beer with him.
Yeah, we should have a beer with him.
Lots of beer with him.
Yeah. All right, so that's our on-course reporter.
Okay, I'm gonna get back to work, guys. I got to get on the course.
Yeah, get back to work. Get out of here.
Air quotes work.
Yeah, get out of here. Yeah, he was working the crowd. Working the crowd for sure.
Working the bars.
All right, so that's the lowdown on the golf. So this morning I wake up to, one of the first things I always check Twitter.
Yeah.
And I find myself now going, well, actually, I'm usually tagged in these ones from Chris Lotvilla.
Mm-hmm.
So this was this morning's first fire off at about 6 a.m. Stadium deals in Tampa Bay, 0 for 4. Doesn't care about the Tampa Bay community. Will always be compared to Namoli and Culverhouse. Oh, that's a low blow, even for Stu. Yeah. Thanks for the successes on the field, but it's time to move on down the road. # sell the team.
Yeah, that's also the first tweet I saw this morning. Yep.
And I commented. I said, he said there are a lot of those people around lately that want Stu to sell. People from all parties, races, creeds, etc., are unified against Stu. He's 0 for 4. # Culverhouse and the Molly Sternberg. You don't know, Timmy, but here in Tampa, we talk about horrible owners. The Molly and Culverhouse. Culverhouse is probably, public. Well, he's the worst ever. He was terrible. He's the one that wouldn't pay Doug Williams. He was a racist. Let's just be honest, in my opinion. He wouldn't pay anybody. He just tried to make as much money as possible. Cheapest owner around. And then Namoli was, Namoli had spent some money on the hit show. The hit show. Went out and got Greg Vaughn and Vinny Castilla. Yeah, Vinny Castilla. Who else did they sign? But it never worked. And he was always banging on the fans. He would go into, corporate places and like bang on the table and demand that they buy season tickets. And it was just, he just pissed off. He went to a Chamber of Commerce meeting at a local Hilton hotel and literally called out the general manager of said hotel that he was speaking at for not having season tickets. The dude was insufferable. He once cut off the cable in the locker room because the players were watching too much television. Just so bad.
Wow.
I mean, I hate to speak ill of the dead, but I mean,
That sounds like the owner of the Cleveland Indians on Major League.
Yes, 100%.
Shuts off the hot water and
100%. So to be mentioned in the same voice as those two,
yeah.
Wow. And, you know, and as I mentioned yesterday in my impassioned plea, and if you did not see the monologue yesterday, it's worth a watch or a listen if you want to go see. I kind of, really detailed what Stu has done to this area and continues to do by, now not selling the team. I mean, he needs to sell the team. There's just nobody wants to work with him. In Orlando, you silly people, stripper does not love you. He's just whispering in your ear, sweet nothings, making you think you're going to, just to drive up the price. By the way, somebody tweeted out this morning or tweeted at me that said the price just went up for the Rays because the Boston Celtics just sold for $6.1 billion.
$6.1 billion.
Now I'm not really sure what that has to do with the price of the Rays. I mean, it is a professional sports team, and yes, people like to buy them and they overpay for them. But, it's our information that Stu's being offered $1.7 to $1.8 billion for a team that Forbes values at 1.25. So it's a fair price, more than fair price. And he's holding up development for everybody. He's holding up expansion, and he needs to sell the team. And if he doesn't want to be forever mentioned with these guys, Culverhouse and Demoli, then just sell the team and move on. And, the word is on the streets that he's loading up for litigation. This will come as no shock to anybody that he's loading up for litigation. And now going to try to, as I predicted, he's going to try to get a piece of the redevelopment rights from St. Pete. And that's going to be a battle. But nobody wins in these wars. In these litigation, well, the attorneys do. But neither side wins. They pay huge attorney bills. The public's going to have to sit here and play through this, and it'll probably delay the team getting sold. And then who knows, maybe the people that are trying to buy this team will just lose interest and say, I'm not dealing with this guy. And then baseball is going to take away his revenue sharing. I mean, it's a disaster that nobody wants and nobody benefits from but Stu. But that's always been his MO. It's always been his MO. He just doesn't care. It's all about him. But I would suggest that I think there's still time for him to be remembered as an owner who changed baseball, who changed the way teams play in a positive way. But if he continues this litigation or starts this litigation and draws this out and goes, does he really want to go to bat against Major League Baseball and his fellow owners and the city and the county and all the people that he's screwed over? Stu, I know you don't take advice from me, but bro, take your money and go. There's still time for you to be remembered as somewhat of a good owner, especially if you can do it now and let Tampa Bay do what Tampa Bay should have done a long time ago. And that's build on the Tampa. What you should have done a long time ago is build on the Tampa side. So it is what it is. Let's just hope that this changes. Yes, Christopher Cole, member of the Hit Show. I forgot the most important member, Jose Canseco. Who could forget the great Jose Canseco, who once hit 31 bombs before the All-Star break as a Ray and then hurt his back. And I think he maybe finished with like 34. So
he also once had a home run bounce off his head in the outfield for the Rangers.
One of the greatest highlights of all time. Let's just be honest.
So great.
The last Waltz media says the last MLB team sold was Baltimore, which one, they're contenders for a while. Two, they have a very nice and well-built stadium. Three, they have a large and old fan base. Sold for $1.725 billion. Yeah, and actually that was where Forbes had it estimated to be worth. They nailed that one. They typically have not nailed them, but they're doing better lately. So they think the Rays are worth 1.25. Stu thinks they're worth $2 billion. B says JP thinks Tampa's the only place that has rich people in the world. Everywhere else is poor. Really?
I don't know about that. B made an appearance on our golf show last night.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he asked me if you were out flipping burgers or where you were, if you were parking cars or
Snarky bastard.
right.
No, I was out taking Fitz's money on the golf course.
Here it is.
Yeah. Thomas Casper says Hugh charged players for cans of soda and stopped buying sweet and low packages. That's true. He put a soda machine in the locker room, and they had to pay for
Had to pay for it.
It wasn't even one of those free soda machines where you just hit it. No, they had to pay for it. So.
I can't imagine the media spread for food was very good under a guy like that. Just like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches the whole time.
But I'm guessing, yeah, there was a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I would guess, yeah, bologna and the choice between bologna and cheese and peanut butter and jelly. B says when Lavilla fires off that many tweets, it means something is about to happen. He knows something is about to break. He just can't say it yet. You may be right, B. You may be right, and I hope you are. Kirk Cousins is back on the show. Who's Kirk Cousins? What, he's talking about Fitzy? I don't know.
Oh, because he looks like Kirk Cousins.
Daniel Rivera has some producing advice for you, Tim. He says when you do the comments music, you got to play the Jeopardy theme music.
Yeah, I think that's copyrighted is the only problem.
Yeah. So, Daniel, if you want to pay those copyright fees, we'd be happy to do that.
Yeah.
Here goes JP again. Pinellas, poor people. Tampa, rich people. New York and London, poor people. Tampa, rich people. When did I ever say that? I mean, it's a fact that Pinellas County has a lot of retirees, and they're on fixed income. Tampa's income is not much better, to be quite honest, but it is the home of most of and the hub of most of the businesses and corporations. Not all, but most. It's the economic hub. It's where all the people are, for God's sakes. We really want to argue about where's the better location for this team. It's like the most ridiculous thing ever. This is Max Stover says, I remember going to my first Valspar championship in 2018. I think, was that the Tiger year? Was that the Tiger year, Mike? Boy, that was crazy. When Tiger came here, that's one of the great, honestly, I don't want to oversell this, but to me, having covered sports in this area for 30 years, to me, that was one of the top 5 events. I mean, the energy that was out here for Tiger was just insane. It was, 10, 15, 20 deep, just this huge amoeba moving from hole to hole around.
Looked like Arnie's Army out there, huh?
Oh, my God, it was incredible. But just the overall vibe, was just, it's just something, it's hard to explain, but there's literally electricity in the air. There's literally electricity in the air. Christopher Cole says, thoughts on season 2 of the quarterbacks and the players in it. Have you watched any yet, quarterbacks?
I have not.
I have not either. Are we going to catch up on that, Christopher? I got to go watch Full Swing, the receivers, quarterbacks, all those great documentaries. I tell you what, there's never been a better time for sports documentaries. I mean, they are going bonkers. People love them. John Seal says the FBI showed up to a warehouse in Augusta where an employee stole Masters treasures, as reported by Golf Digest. Really?
Wow.
So
I haven't heard that.
Stealing like Masters memorabilia and keeping it in a warehouse, one of the employees. Wow. That's that'd be quite the find.
Huh. That might cost you your job.
I think it might. Kenneth McClary said, what Baker Mayfield is not just a player, but an animal as well. He can get you jacked up like Mike Allstott used to get the crowd jacked up on one of those signature plays. So true. And that's what we were talking about with Rondé is, those are things you cannot measure on a stat sheet. And he that was a perfect example he had. That team was like dead in the freaking water against Atlanta. That was Atlanta. No, it was Saints.
The Saints.
They were dead. Like there was no energy, and they're playing for their playoff lives. And sometimes guys get so hyped they just drain themselves. And then you just have no energy on the field. And Baker picked them up that day and just put them on his back. And those are the the quarterbacks that win you Super Bowls. You Super Bowls. I can't love Baker enough. I think he's fantastic.
You know, and what amazes me the most about Baker, and I know I was going to bring this up with Rondé, but we didn't have time. Rondé played for what, 3 defensive coordinators over the course of 16 years, and most of that was under Kiffin, right?
Monty Kiffin, yeah.
Yeah, for the majority of that time. Baker's on his 3rd different offensive coordinator in 3 years, and I think like his 9th or 10th overall in the NFL. Yet he's continued to be able to manage the offense, whatever offense that is, under whatever coordinator that is, to keep his team in games and to continue to play at a high level. And to me, that's just amazing that you can do that, because a lot of guys, people throw out the term system quarterback. All right.
Right.
And you know what? I think to an extent that's true of a lot of guys. But when you get a guy that's that successful under that many coordinators and on that many teams, well, you're not a system quarterback. You're just a good quarterback, right? Because you can adapt and adjust to whatever system you're playing in.
Right.
And still lead your team, with your play on the field and with your voice in the locker room. And it just amazes me that he's been able to do that over the course of this, however many years he's been in the league now, with that many teams, and still be respected by literally every player he's ever played with.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, his teammates love him. His teammates absolutely love and adore him. And I just can't wait to see where he takes his team. Now, will Grizzard, everybody seems to love Grizzard, the new OC, but we'll see how he calls plays, sequences plays. That's a talent. And it's something that Liam did really well last year. No matter what you think of him, it's something he did really well. So there they are, the Jacksonville Brain Trust. Wow. They could work in Orlando too. I don't, I'm like, now I'm starting to go at it with Orlando people because I'm trying to do them a favor.
Yeah.
All these Orlando people are coming at me. I'm just trying to explain to them, look, you're not getting baseball. You go spend that money and time and effort on something that you can actually have a shot at. They just don't. I know they want to, but sorry, be the bearer of bad news. Yeah. Jim Sharp says Rondé's an awesome ambassador for the Tampa Bay area. He really is. I say this all the time. These guys, they play here, and when they stay here, such a positive effect on the community. Paul Stewart says, see you there this time tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Another set of headphones. Is that a threat, Paul? Are you threatening to push your way onto this fine program? I'll decide. Who goes on the program. We'd love to have you, Paul.
Absolutely. Good day, mate.
Good day, mate. Thanks for the hat. I wore it earlier this week and gave you the props. I had to wear the upside down Tampa today, though. This is not a thing like it's a reverse camera. This is actually the upside down and backwards.
I still don't understand those hats.
It's called fashion, bro.
I don't know. It's upside down. They've got those here in Dallas too. One of the guys that works up at the Fan was wearing one, and it was up. I'm like, hey, I was up at the station last night, and he was one of the late night, and I'm like, did you know your hat's upside down? He says, not the hat, it's just the print. I'm like, did you pay money for that?
Somebody misprinted it one time.
Yeah.
And you know what?
And it was for
It's really cool.
It.
Yeah. Kenneth McClary says one of the plays that was my favorite of Baker's was the play on that long run by Irving when Baker was ahead of him and got a block for him on a potential tackler.
Yeah.
That was awesome. He had reverse field, and here Baker comes running up because he never gives up.
Out of nowhere. He came out of nowhere on that play.
Nathan said Rondé was hard to chase down in Munich. Yeah, he goes to all those away games. I think we're going to Spain this year. I should have asked him that. He'd know. I think the Bucs are going to play in Spain. I've not taken an international trip, but I think we need to take that one. Sponsors? Do we have any sponsors out there who'd like to sponsor the FanStream Sports Tampa Bay trip to Spain?
Yeah, the rumors are they're playing the Dolphins.
Yeah, in Madrid.
In Madrid, yeah.
Oh, please. I mean, Germany would have been great. I think I've had enough of London. Thank you.
Sorry, Paul.
Sorry, Paul. Well, I think he has too. He doesn't live in London. Nathan Elliott says the kicker can't miss in those close games. Our kickers have not been the problem. Nathan, our kickers have not been the problem. Trevor the Albatross Lawrence. He's going to be good, though. You watch under Liam Cohen. He's going to be good.
Meh.
John Hill says the Lions have proposed an NFL change in the postseason seating from division winners to best record. Thoughts? The fact that Minnesota had to go on the road after winning 14 games doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah, but they lost.
Yeah, as much as the Bucs, yeah, so did the Bucs. As much as the Bucs benefited from that, I think if you win 14 games, now it's schedules are not balanced. Obviously, they're within the division they are to some point because you play most of the same teams. I don't know. I think if you win a division, you should get a home game. I think that stokes up the division rivalries. And I think that's good for football. But I don't have a hard feeling on this. If they went, they went either way. I mean, if you win 14, you should be rewarded.
The same thing happened to the Packers. They won 11 games, and they were relegated to the 7th seed in the playoffs.
Right. Yeah.
I don't
know. What do you think, Timmy?
Oh no, I'm all for. You know what? And I miss the old days in the NHL, and you'll probably remember this when they didn't care what division you were in. It was conference. The top 8 in each conference went to the playoffs, seeded by points. So you could have 3 teams in the same conference be 1, 2, and 3 if that's how the points worked out. They didn't care about division winners. It was who had the most points, 1 through 8 in each conference. That's how they were seeded, and that's who made the playoffs. And I think it should be like that with just about every other sport. I know it would take away some of the division, like games that matter, but you still have to win. The whole point is to win games. Right. I don't care if you play the same 3 teams, twice each year. That's great and everything. You're going to be familiar with each other and still have division rivalries, but it's all about winning games. And whoever wins the most games should have the most benefit in the postseason.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's fair. It seemed like that Minnesota got hosed. If we won 14 games, we go on the road. That's not right.
You're also trying to ban the tush push too. That's one of the 3.
I saw that. I think that's probably going to get banned, and I don't think it's fair. No, nobody does it like Philadelphia does it.
So that's true. Most of that's because of Jalen Hurts and his tree trunk thighs.
But that should be an advantage.
It should be, but here's the deal. That used to be illegal. Like, that's been illegal in the NFL as long as I can remember. You cannot assist the guy with the ball, either pushing or pulling. And then
they got rid of that rule.
Right, they got rid of the pushing part. You still can't pull a guy.
I saw a guy get pulled into the end zone this year.
Yeah.
I saw a guy got pulled into the end zone by an offensive lineman this year. I think it was Bucky Irving, actually.
Oh, might have been. Yeah, they're not supposed to be able to do that.
Bredesen threw him into the end zone, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah. I think because other teams have not been able to replicate it, you shouldn't ban it. You shouldn't ban it. And I've heard people say safety concerns.
Right, that's the only thing.
Football. It's football. I mean, the one thing is, I guess if you're the other team, you can just try, like, was it Detroit? Just keep trying to time it and go over the top and keep taking penalties because they're not going to be awarded, especially on the goal line or half the distance to the goal. I mean, so that becomes a problem. And then the referee has to come on the mic and say, "Oh, we could award a touchdown." I'm like, what? when did that become a rule?
I mean, ask Tank Dell how he feels about blocking during a tush push play. He lost the whole season because of it.
What?
Breaking his leg when he was in for a blocking play and when Houston was trying the tush push.
Oh, that's how he got injured?
Yes. Not last year. It was the year before.
What?
His rookie season.
Who's this guy in the comments who says his name is Charlie Batiste? He says, "Raise to Orlando soon."
Go ahead and bet money on that, Charlie.
You going to make a bet? Where he also said that, and there's people keep saying that Manfred has now changed from keeping the Rays in Tampa Bay to keeping the Rays in Central Florida. I've not heard him say that.
I haven't seen that anywhere.
I could be wrong, but I've not seen that. All I saw him say a million times was Tampa Bay. And again, if he's floating Orlando, he's probably just trying to drive up the price first due. Although I think he wants, the more people that bid on the team, the better, but they're not they're not moving to Orlando. The Tampa Bay market is a way better market. It's a bigger market. It has 30 years of history. It has great TV ratings, and they can get it done in Tampa. The current ownership group that wants to buy it can get it done in Tampa. Just it's a better spot. It's better. Orlando, where is the evidence that they would attend the games? It's a transient community focused on theme parks. They don't even support the Magic or the MLS teams there, the pro teams that they have there in any wonderful way. So, and they don't have any money. They have an ownership group that hasn't been identified. That's fine. But, you're going to need $1.5 billion, $2 billion for the stadium. You're going to need $2 billion to buy the team and probably another $1 billion for a relocation fee. So I don't see the money. I don't see, The only problem is Stu Starner. If we get rid of him, we're fine. All right. Thank you guys for chiming in. Please feel free to keep commenting, and we'll get you guys back on the show. All right. We'll take a break. We'll come back on the other side and get into a little bit more. Let's do some March Madness when we get back, partner. Set up the games today.
Yeah.
We're brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance. Great time to get a insurance checkup. Make sure you have your flood insurance, your business insurance, and the great folks at Italiano can help you do that. 813-877-7799. Back in 3.
Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com. Hey guys, February's birthstone is amethyst, a stunning purple gem that symbolizes peace, protection, tranquility, and sincerity. Celebrate her birthday or your 6th and 17th wedding anniversaries with an unforgettable amethyst gift. And of course, for over 40 years, the Golden Diamond Source has been Tampa Bay's most trusted name in fine jewelry. We only sell natural diamonds. If it's real love, it should be a real natural diamond. Don't get a fake. The Golden Diamond Source first-time buyer program will help you learn about the 4 C's, what style, shape, and color works best for you and your unique style. Folks, it's the best customer service. They make it so easy for you, and they're not going to push you into something that you cannot afford. 0% financing for up to 5 years. If you finance $5,000, it's only $83 a month. Also, you can turn your old unused gold into cash or a stunning new piece. With gold prices soaring, there's no better time to trade up. So get that old jewelry and bring it on in. You know where, the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Overton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves. If you're going to hire an attorney, do you want some guy looking for a quick settlement and a quick buck, or do you want an attorney with some chops? Scott is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator. Been practicing in the Tampa Bay area for over 30 years. He is a peer-reviewed AV preeminent-rated civil trial lawyer. They just don't hand out those classifications. He's been the lead class action counsel on many complex consumer protection cases and has handled hundreds of serious personal injury cases. He's dedicated his career to protecting injured victims and is committed to vigorously representing you. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. Personal injury and personal attention. Call for a free case evaluation. That's 888-9-JEEVES. That's 888-9-JEEVES. The Jeeves Law Group.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to the JP Peterson Show right here on FanStream Sports. I am the illustrious and the legendary IndyCar Tim. JP is live from the Valspar, way out there in Palm Harbor. At least it's way out there for me. Probably not for some of you guys. I am live from the Dallas Jeeves Law Group Studios. JEEVESLawGroup.com. Check out Jeeves Law Group. They'll help you out with any legal needs you have in Tampa or in Dallas at their Dallas office. JEEVESLawGroup.com for all your legal needs as JP returns late from his bathroom break. Those breaks are just about too short, I think.
Well, yeah. Well, if you want longer breaks, you know where to go. You get your 10-minute commercial breaks at WDAE 620.
WDAE. There you go.
Yes. And you had to mention them on our show today to Rondé. Like, what the hell was that all about?
Well, I was hey, he went on their show. Okay, that's all I was saying. And I did a story about his quote about them wanting a corner in the draft. So I had to give credit for the quote to where it was.
Well, good for you. They never give credit to anybody but them. Anyway, the mic was on the whole time, so you get all the interesting sounds from the bathroom.
Yeah, it was great.
That guy in the stall next to me.
Yeah, he was having issues.
He was 100%. That didn't go out over the air, did it?
No, it wasn't. You were muted.
Okay, it's I went to wash my hands because I do that.
Sure.
And I looked in the mirror and I'm like, oh, my microphone's still on.
Yeah, no, it was muted. That's fine.
Okay, that's good.
Would have made for great radio.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so games coming up today. Let's see what we have here.
Got a bunch of them.
Yeah, we're starting off with Creighton, I believe.
Yep.
Creighton in Louisville.
Correct. 12:15 on CBS.
Creighton and Louisville, a couple high-scoring teams. I didn't even realize Creighton is in the Big East now.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And that's a Rupp Arena, so Louisville will certainly have the hometown crowd there.
Did you see the proposal from, was it Rick Pitino, who has an idea to combine or to merge the Big East and the ACC for basketball?
Wow, that'd be good.
Yeah, how do you like that? Like, I read through the story a little bit, and everything he said makes a ton of sense.
Well, who's even in the Big East anymore besides St. John's?
That's a good question.
Creighton.
Yeah, obviously.
The Creighton Blue Jays. Then we got at 12:40 High Point versus Purdue. High Point. A lot of people picking High Point for the upset here.
How about St. John's, Creighton, UConn, Marquette, Xavier, Villanova, Georgetown, Butler, Providence, DePaul, and Seton Hall is your Big East.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of remnants from the old Big East.
Yep.
Yeah, the ACC needs help in basketball, that's for sure.
Dude, that would do it, man. Yeah.
It really tanked. We'll be talking to Scott Hamilton here coming up about the ACC and what's happened to them in basketball. It's a crying shame. Then we got 11th seeded VCU against BYU. So you have the size, depth, and execution of BYU against those VCU guards and their defense.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be a good one. 405 TNT.
Yep.
And a couple of Bulldogs versus Bulldogs. Georgia versus Gonzaga. That's 435 on TBS. So Georgia beat Florida when they were number one. So an 8 versus 9. That should be a pretty good one. I think that's the first SEC team in action of the 14 that made the dance.
Yeah, it's Georgia. Yep.
Yeah. And then we have Drake and Missouri. 11th seeded Drake and Missouri at 735. I'll be honest with you, I have no idea about either. Well, Missouri, obviously, another SEC team that is. I mean, these guys are battle tested. I would be shocked if the SEC doesn't probably put a majority of their teams into the Sweet 16. These teams are battle tested.
Yep. Just playing each other all season. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, every night you're playing a top 20 team or usually a top 5 team as well.
Yeah.
A little bit more about Bucs free agency. They signed Sterling Shepard, which is a little bit of a surprise to me. I thought that would I thought he played okay last year. I didn't think he was great, but Baker trusts him, no question about it. He went to him in some big situations. So, and I do think the Bucs are going to draft a wide receiver. I think by the third round, maybe higher. I don't know.
Do you think this is like an insurance policy signing in case maybe Godwin's not 100% to start the season?
That's a good thought. Yeah. I think you're right. And I think Godwin will be ready, but I think it is a good insurance policy just in case. So
it doesn't cost you hardly anything, right? I mean,
no, these are, and that's the great thing. I mean, they're bringing back guys that are really team friendly deals. Anthony Nelson, a very team friendly deal, was that 2 years, $10 million. Sterling Shepard, obviously, is that's a cheap one as well.
I mean, even Levante David's deal is pretty team friendly.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Hey, let's take another quick break. I think we have another guest lining up. So we'll do that when we come back. Tracy West is going to join us, tournament director.
Oh,
she's sporting one of them bucket hats too. Love that. So we'll chat with her about all the goings on here at poolside here at the Valspar. Quick break. Back in 3. Stay with us.
Hurricane Helene put a hurting on Tampa Bay, and for many of you, the rebuild will be a long process. You must beware of unscrupulous contractors offering up quick fixes for incredible prices. It's a scam. So go with long-standing, reputable companies like Third Generation Plumbing and AC. My friend John Rodriguez has been serving Tampa Bay since 1995 with hundreds of 5-star reviews. If you need a new AC system or any home repairs from Helene, they will work with insurance companies to get you taken care of quickly, expertly installed, of course, and a 1-year maintenance plan and 10-year warranty included on all AC units. 0% financing for 60 months. Contact them at thirdgenerationplumbing.com or 813-961-8024. That's 813-961-8024, thirdgenerationplumbing.com. So many of our Tampa Bay neighbors are finding out the hard way from Hurricane Helene that homeowners insurance does not cover flood damage. You must have flood insurance. It's a separate policy. Immediately call Italiano Insurance at 813-877-7799, and they will shop around to find the best policy before rates go up. Lock it in. Over 60% are underinsured in Florida, or you're not getting your discounts that you're entitled to. So do an insurance checkup at Italiano, and they could save you thousands of dollars. Italiano will make sure you're with a highly rated insurer, so there are no surprises in your time of need. Our hearts go out to all our neighbors devastated by Helene. These are the times we're proud to protect all the pieces of your life. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite. I love it. So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here as I'm trying to find the leaderboard here and get it up. There we go. There's some of it. We'll get you all the scores here in a minute. We have Tracy West, the tournament director. You just got a scoring update.
I did. I get them texted.
You get it sent to
I get it sent to me. Yeah, Keith Mitchell's 5 under.
Cashmere
Sam Burns,
Keith.
5 under.
Wow.
Cashmere Keith.
That's where other man. That's Tim there in the little box there.
Hi, Tracy.
Hi. And Sam Burns, 2-time champions, 3 under. Xander's 2 under. Shopley. So
that's good.
They're out there.
I mean,
But, I'll tell you this. The guys that teed off in the morning will have the advantage going into the tournament because you can feel the breeze starting to pick up, and it's going to get windier and windier as the afternoon goes on. So the guys that are got the early late, they're going to have the advantage.
Well, now the rough, Rondé said it's at like 3.5, and it's going to go to 4.5.
Yeah, the last cut. We did the last cut on Sunday. Oh no, it's going to go crazy. No, it's not only the height, but how dense it is out there. Yeah. I'm actually worried about that. A pro will hit the wrong ball because there'll be so many pro-am amateur balls in the rough.
Yeah,
it's like hopefully we got them all picked up.
Because I've been in the rough here, believe me, quite a few times.
It's brutal.
And it sits so far down. It's hard to really identify the ball. You can't touch it. Like it's easy for us because we just pick it up. No. Oh yeah, it's my ball.
Hopefully we got really good.
You set it down nice and
utilize the foot wedge, JP. The foot wedge.
The foot wedge, yes. Well, listen, I'm not playing for money. We can have some. Oh my God, the wind's blowing. We're getting crushed here.
Yeah,
the wind.
The scores might be going up here if it's short order.
We have props now to show you how windy it is. Ahead by a light.
Look, that 12:23 tee time that's coming up with Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, that's going to be one to keep an eye on. They're playing with Carl Phillips. I'll be on my ESPN Plus for sure. That'll be the group I'm following for the day.
And Justin tied the course record last week at the Players, so he's rounding into form.
Yeah, he's on form for sure. Yeah. So no, we were trying to. A bunch of us went to dinner last night, Rondé, a bunch of us, and we went around the horn saying, okay, who do you want to win, and who do you think will win? Because that's not necessarily the same.
Who's
thing.
your want? You can't say.
Well, I can't. That'd be poor form. I did it in a small group, but that'd be poor form as a tournament director. But the not consensus, but there was a few that JTs would win.
Yeah.
A couple Jordans would win. A Mackenzie Hughes.
Yeah.
I guess. And then there was a lot of I wants, like Sam Burns, because obviously
he's a favorite.
Exactly, he's a favorite. So,
what are some? You know these guys better than anybody. Mm-hmm. So, who's a good watch? Who's a good watch out here that if people are look at a grouping and say, I'm going to follow, because I always tell you, follow a group. I think it's a great exercise if you're a golfer, even a non-golfer. But if you're a golfer, follow a group and watch how they play. How they talk to their caddies, because you can get close enough to them, you can hear what's going on, and how they approach shots. It's one of the great things about coming to the tournament. You really you get to see things you don't and hear things sometimes you don't hear on TV.
Yeah, I mean certainly Jordan and Justin are fun to watch, but they will have the bigger crowds.
Jordan's always talking.
And Jordan talks to Greller, so Michael Greller, his caddy, all the time. So they're fun. They're probably the most fun to watch, but they will have the biggest crowds. I like watching Sahith Theegala.
Yeah.
I think he's so smooth, and I think he's a lot of fun to watch right now. So, but there's a ton.
Who's the guy? Forgot his name now. The guy that was on Full Swing last year that everybody loved with his caddy. Joel Damon with his caddy.
He and Gino talk it. Gino, they talk it up big time. So
yeah, they're fun.
They're fun to watch.
You gotta love the golfer that wears the bucket hat on the course.
Yes,
exactly. One of the few bucket hats, and then Paul, and then Peter
Malnati,
and then all of us and our volunteers. So today is Peter Malnati Bucket Hat Day.
Nice.
So
you get a free bucket hat when you walk in.
The first 500 people did.
They got,
and they went like wham.
They went bam.
I don't even think it was light out, and those were gone.
Wow.
And then we're honoring him at 6 p.m. tonight on the first tee.
Oh,
so
good.
He doesn't know it yet, but he knows we're doing something.
Yeah.
But we're showing a lot of fun videos. Rondé's going to MC it. We're actually going to gift him a beautiful painting of his winning moment from last year when he lifted up his son Hatcher and the cape was flying and all that.
So cool.
So a local artist did it. So
speaking
JP,
of local,
I need you to find me one of those bucket hats and have Tracy and Rondé autograph it for me and send it to Dallas.
Will do.
If I autographed it, it would ruin it. You want Rondé's, you might not want mine. It's a little more valuable with his.
I'll take care of the Rondé autograph.
I bet you will. Yeah, you'll auto pen it.
I've got it. Yeah, auto pen. Speaking of local, Jackson Suber goes off. He already went off at 9:19 this morning.
Yeah, and he's with another Tampa kid. Jackson's with Nick Gabrelsik.
Oh wow! Yeah. So we got a couple local kids there.
Couple Tampas.
And we got 3 three FSU kids in the field.
Yeah.
Luke Clanton is playing as an amateur, right?
Yep.
These guys were all in the runner-up national championship team last year. And who's the other two guys? Pock.
Yeah, John Pock.
John Pock.
And
he goes off at 9:36. I actually wrote it down here, Tracy, for all you FSU people that are coming out here. Yeah. And who else?
I know. I'm trying to think who else.
There's one more that was on the Vincent Norman.
Oh,
Vincent
that's
Norman.
right.
Yeah.
I should know that.
Yeah.
You know why I should know that?
Why should you know that?
He texted me late last night, and so we're the only PGA Tour tournament that allows these guys. So it's called Spring Break at the Valspar Championship, and there's two things pros get to do here that they don't get to do anywhere. One is put an honorary observer into their group to like a family member to follow them along inside the ropes.
Cool.
But the second is to wear a nickname on the back of their the caddy vest.
Yeah.
He texted me last night and he said, "Is it too late? Is it too late?" I said, "No. What do you want? Go Knowles."
Go Knowles.
So
Nice.
I should have remembered who the other one was.
All right.
But
yeah.
Vincent Norman.
So and that's what's fun about coming to these. You can pick out guys that they're your school, local guys, and you can watch them play the whole and walk with them. I highly recommend it.
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
Cool stuff. What else is going on out here for the fans?
So if you're on your way out or can get out here soon, there's a couple things today. Besides Peter Malnati's ceremony at 6 p.m., we actually have Brian and Micah from HGTV.
Yes, my friends.
They've got a show called 100 Day Dream Home.
Right.
And they're going to do a fan meet and greet at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, great.
12 to 1
great
in the courtyard.
They're very popular.
Yeah, they're super popular. And then if you have Hooters Owl's Nest tickets,
I do.
I just picked up John Gruden at the gate.
Oh, God.
And John Gruden and two guys from Barstool Sports are going to be in the Hooters Owl's Nest between 1 and 3, along with Rondé and Craig Stadler.
Craig Stadler? The Walrus is here.
Wow, the Walrus.
He's here for 2 days.
You got enough beer for all those guys?
No.
Actually, you better get an extra pitcher.
Exactly.
There's going to be a lot of beer going down.
Yeah, from Great Bay and Michelob Ultra, they'll keep those kegs flowing.
That's going to be a fun time. Can they still get tickets to the Hooters Owl's Nest?
Yeah, you can still buy tickets online, and or if you're on site and listening, you can upgrade right at the Owl's Nest.
Right at the Owl's Nest. Well, that's awesome. I didn't even know about that. We'll be headed right over there right after this show.
Yeah.
Well, Trace, thanks for jumping in.
Thanks,
Appreciate
JP.
it. Thank you for everything. You're absolutely
Thanks,
awesome. You guys, and congrats on all the Valspar stuff and keeping this tournament for another 5 years.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We're
Amazing
excited.
job.
All right.
Awesome.
Thanks for the
Trace.
support, Tampa Bay.
Yep. Absolutely. We'll keep drumming it up. Thank you, Tracy. Here, I'll take that. Cute little microphone. All right. Did I hear Scotty pop in?
Scotty is here. Would you like to see Scotty now?
I would love to see Scotty.
I mean, we go from Rondé Barber to Tracy West to Scott Hamilton. Like, what other show, man? What other show?
Come on now.
Tracy and
you
I
guys
go
should be
back
paying
a
double
ways.
today.
Tracy and I go back a ways.
Oh, do you really?
From my golf week days. Yeah, man. Yeah, I knew Tracy. She didn't work for that tournament, though. I want to say she worked for another tournament or one of the organizations. I'll have to go back and look at my contacts list. But I remember Tracy.
Yeah, she's been in the golf business forever. I think she runs 2 tournaments for her company. Runs this one, and I'm not
the
sure.
3M.
Yeah, it might be. It might be. Yeah, she is universally and highly respected in the golf community. She is a treasure, and we are lucky to have her running this tournament because Scott, this tournament almost went away. It was self-funded for 2 years as the Tampa Bay Championship. Yeah, this was not long ago, about 8 years ago, when then Valspar stepped up, and as Rondé was telling the story, the management kind of inherited it, so they had to kind of resell it to them again, and they fell in love with the entire tournament for their clients and everything, and they just re-upped for another 5 years. So
that's. I actually broke the story when they started that tournament. Is that at the Copperhead course?
Yes. We're sitting here at the Copperhead course right now. The wind is blowing, and Keith Mitchell is 5 under after 13 holes.
Well, I was at I think it was the very first one. I want to say it was 07 thereabouts. And they had a good dude named Tom DiCaprio was running their sales department.
Yes, Tommy DiCaprio. That's right. Yes,
Tommy DiCaprio, great guy, man. But I was really happy to see that tournament grow. And then to your point, it did hit a snag like a lot of tournaments.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to validate being a sponsor for a golf tournament these days when there are so many other ways to allocate your sponsorship dollars. On Hilton Head, for example, the Heritage, they did not have a sponsor one year. They sponsored themselves. They bet on themselves because they had telecom companies for 20 years up until I think it was 2011, and then they got RBC. But go back, and you'll relate to this. Before the real estate bubble burst in 2008, man, it was nothing. Sponsorships were everywhere. Bam, 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 bam. Then everybody decided, you know what, we can't afford to put our money into sports marketing dollars. NASCAR went through the same thing. I'm surprised we don't see more cars nowadays that look like Ricky Bobby's me. He had on the hood, just bet on myself, me. But yeah, that I'm rambling. Tampa's a great event, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day out here too, and it's going to be. They got a good feel for being a non-signature event. They've got 24 of the top 50 and some really big names, so they've done a tremendous job, and it's really cool. I wanted to talk to you about your article about the ACC tournament. It's just not what it used to be. The grand old lady that we talked about. I texted you back. I said, take me back to the 90s and leave me there, please, for everything. For everything.
Well, I'd give anything to not be able to talk to you right now. No offense, the technology sucks, man. But that tournament. I mean, you spent a lot of time in the Triad, man. I mean, it was just so darn special, and now it's just sterile, and it just doesn't feel the same. Even when it's in Charlotte. I mean, Charlotte's just down the road, and I went to a couple at the old Greensboro Coliseum, which was a rocking place when the Hornets were in town.
Yep.
It's just not the same. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching Clemson, one of the old guard, one of the original 8 teams, the only one, by the way, that has not won an ACC title. I'm watching them play SMU. And we saw them do that in the football game, and that was a little more palatable. But watching them play SMU in the quarterfinals of the ACC Men's Basketball Championship, and no NC State there. The darn thing was founded by Everett Case, for goodness sakes. And NC State wasn't even there because they have so many teams now. They can't get them all in. And it just.
Well, we had Stanford and Cal. Didn't Stanford play Cal?
Stanford and Cal played 2,700 miles, and I wrote this in my column. They played 2,700 miles from either campus, just down the street from the NASCAR Hall of Fame. I'm like,
make it make sense.
I'm like, this is the breaking point for me right now. And I'll be candid again. The people at the ACC office are not very happy with me right now. I've already heard. They'll be okay because the flip side of it is, as much as this wonderful event has been marginalized and sterilized, the ACC is still in business, and this was the only way it could happen, by taking those schools. Otherwise, they would be the Pac-12, basically in limbo, cryogenics, frozen this year until they get a bunch of G5s. I mean, it was the only way the ACC could live, and that beats the alternative.
Well, it's obviously there's a lot of realignment to come, and we'll see what happens to the ACC. Hopefully, realignment brings us back to where we were originally. We can get back to the geographically sensible conferences and renew some old rivalries. There's an opportunity to do it. I don't know if they're smart enough or have the wherewithal to do it, but I would like to see it. Do you think when this thing realigns again, there's any chance that happens?
Maybe. Last time I joined you, we talked about the ACC has poisoned itself.
Yeah.
With by doing this arrangement with Florida State, all the schools where basically the more you bring in, the more you earn, yada yada yada. But as soon as the TV deals come up, they're going to scatter to the winds.
Yeah.
The ACC is going to die. And I think I might have mentioned it. I spoke with Rick Neuheisel a couple of weeks ago. He's got a really good idea, man, about the ACC needs to partner with the Big 12 and set up, just for football, and set up geographical divisions to get the 4 automatic bids. And I just think that's such a wonderful idea.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't know if it'll happen, though. I don't know if it'll happen, because that would mean that Brett Yormark would have to be willing to get into bed with Jim Phillips, and we've seen how these alliances work out. You
Yeah.
know, we've seen how it works out. And Brett Yormark, he's a smart dude, man. And I get people tell me all the time he's a snake oil salesman and this, that, and the other. I think he's just an innovative dude who's willing to not go with the flow and do what's best for his conference. And that doesn't mean trying to be the best in football. It means maybe trying to own a different space like basketball. I just think he's a sharp guy. Jim Phillips, I'm worried about him, man. I'm worried about him. He's naive. He's naive.
Yeah, listen, I was going to ask you about him so you can get in even more trouble with the conference. I don't see leadership there. I don't see vision. I see a reactionary. I see someone who maybe is compromised in some of the behaviors that I saw when FSU got snubbed. This deal with ESPN is, and I know that wasn't him that cut that. That was Swafford. But the way he's managed it, I don't think is correct. Is there any pressure for him to resign? Is there any are these member schools that say, you know what, maybe we can do better? Because I think you can.
I don't think so, because they can kind of control him. I mean, look, you know as well as I do who has the power, who has the juice in that conference. It's UNC, it's Duke, it's the original, ones there in that triangle of Virginia area, not Virginia Tech, but they're the ones that pull the strings up with all this. And I just don't see it existing past 2032. I really, really don't, man, unless they do something completely drastic. Because I'm wondering, how can, with this lopsided revenue structure, how can a Wake Forest afford to be not only competitive in football and basketball and everything else, but how can they pay the travel costs of their Olympic sports and their baseball team and things such as that when they're already taking a pay cut and falling further behind the SEC and the Big Ten? I just don't see how that's sustainable. I don't. And when I had my sit down with Greg Sankey a couple of weeks ago, that was one of the shots he took. We've seen these kinds of revenue payout systems before, and they fail. They fail, and that was a direct shot at the ACC. That's what that was.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's sad, man, because by giving Clemson and Florida State what they wanted, they put an expiration date on the conference.
Yeah, I think you're right, and maybe it was already expiring anyway. So we'll shall see. All right. So before you go, give me a little March Madness take on the teams that you've seen play. I've seen one college basketball game live this year, Memphis and USF. I think Memphis is a talented team. I don't think they're going to make a long run, but they're scrappy and they got some talent. But that's all I've seen. You've seen a lot more than I. Does this Duke team have what it takes? Is Cooper Flagg healthy enough to get it done?
Yeah, I think he is. He'll be fine because he's not going to have to play. They probably won't play him at all in this first game. I went in after the other day and I emailed and I asked the people at the AP if I could change my Player of the Year vote. And I had Cooper Flagg and I flipped it to Broom.
Nice. Tampa kid.
Well, I saw how good Duke was without Cooper Flagg.
Yeah.
And I went, Auburn ain't that good without Broom. I will say this, though, and I'm not a big gambler because I get a little out of control, but I have one game today that I've reached out and I've done everything I need to do to make the proper bet. BYU in Denver. They're playing at altitude. I feel so good. They're playing VCU. They're 2.5 point favorite. Yeah, man. I just think I think they're a better team, first of all, but also playing in the altitude of Denver.
Mm-hmm.
That's
good point.
Like a home game.
I like that.
So I put my mortgage payment on that today.
What about your High Point, the Panthers? Am I recalling that correctly? Are they the High Point Panthers?
Yeah, man. I am okay. I mean, they have no history in the tournament. This is the first time.
Yeah.
So I haven't watched them play. I know that Tubby Smith was the coach there. I think Saul or G. I think G might be the coach there now. It's one of Tubby's sons.
Yeah.
I think they might have changed it. I don't know, man. I covered them a few years ago. They had a player named John Brown who was legit NBA All-Star till he hurt his knee like in the last game, and he's in Italy or somewhere now.
They still playing that like high school gym?
No, which was cool but they opened up this Taj Mahal type place about 7 or 8 years ago. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, man. I mean, if you get a chance, you go back to the Triad, go to High Point and check out a game.
Interesting. All right, partner. Well, you got to pick. I got to pick the Gators just because I'm a Seminole, and if I don't, though, the Gators will be really mad at me.
Aggies.
I don't do brackets,
right?
Because it's like betting on your favorite team. At some point, you have to make a hard decision. But I did help a friend out who has this contest going, and I let the computer do automatic picks for me, and then I changed a couple of things. I got the Gators, man.
Yeah, they're deep. They got a premier player that could score in the clutch, and their coach is pretty good, and they're battle tested. So, all right, Scotty, thanks, man. Enjoy the March Madness.
Hey, appreciate y'all.
I'll tell Tracy you said hi. Great Scott Hamilton right there.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, Did you fill out a bracket? I didn't do a bracket.
I quit doing brackets and I quit doing fantasy football about 5 years ago. I just don't have the stomach for any of it anymore. I will pick, I should have done it before today. I will usually pick a Final Four, and it's probably going to be, Florida, Duke, St. John's. I'd have to look, but I'll usually pick a Final Four.
Yeah, I be honest with you, I just haven't been able to get into college basketball the way I used to. I mean, it used to be, I'd be running around trying to find, back in the 90s, places where we could go watch all the games out in Colorado while I was skiing, because we'd typically be out there for spring break.
Yep.
And I remember that was back when FSU was good. And I remember trying to calling up and hey, do you have a satellite dish? Are you will you have the FSU game on? You literally had to go back in the day and try to find some place that had a satellite dish that was getting all the games.
Those were the big satellite dishes too, not like the direct TV ones. These were the big ones, 10 feet ones. Yeah.
Yeah. You were ride around and you saw one on top of a building. You're over there. That's a sports bar. Let's go. Yeah. All right. Let's take our final break. We'll come back and we'll get to the rest of the comments here and anything you guys want to ask, thoughts, comments on Valspar, Bucs, Rays, Lightning tonight. We'll do a little bit more on that. Put them in the comments, and we'll do it when we get back. We're brought to you by Third Generation Plumbing. They also do AC, so if you need a little tune-up before the summer starts, give them a call over there at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. They'll come out, give you a tune-up, make sure you got the Freon, everything's working well. So when summer hits really hot, that your air conditioner will be ready to go. It's always a good idea to get that serviced. So go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Take advantage of the specials they got going on right now. Back in 3. Stay with us.
JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves, who lives right here and has long been a highly respected member of our community. He's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Riverwalk. Jeeves Law Group is also a proud sponsor of our Grand Central District in St. Pete and has neighborhood events throughout the year. He has an office on Central Avenue in St. Pete and one on South Howard in Tampa. You can't get more local than that. So when you need an attorney, you're going to hire some huge firm that advertises all over the state or the one that supports your favorite sports show. It's the Jeeves Law Group. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. For personal injury and personal attention, call us for a free case evaluation. That's 8889-JEEVES. That's 8889-JEEVES. Hey, JP here for my personal concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. Yeah, he's been on the show for the last couple of years, but this is kind of a new deal, and only a limited amount of you can get involved with this personal concierge service. And what I love about it, you can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. And Chris emphasizes a healthy lifestyle to help prevent illness. But when I do need assistance, he's always available. From nutrition guidance to supplement recommendations and workout advice, his expertise is a game changer. Plus, as a medical provider for the National Guard, he stays up to date on the latest health trends and practices, steering clear of the outdated conventional medicine that often relies on unnecessary prescriptions. And the best part, Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself. Take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com. Hey guys, February's birthstone is amethyst, a stunning purple gem that symbolizes peace, protection, tranquility, and sincerity. Celebrate her birthday or your 6th and 17th wedding anniversaries with an unforgettable amethyst gift. And of course, for over 40 years, the Golden Diamond Source has been Tampa Bay's most trusted name in fine jewelry. We only sell natural diamonds. If it's real love, it should be a real natural diamond. Don't get a fake. The Golden Diamond Source first-time buyer program will help you learn about the 4 C's, what style, shape, and color works best for you and your unique style. Folks, it's the best customer service. They make it so easy for you, and they're not going to push you into something that you cannot afford. 0% financing for up to 5 years. If you finance $5,000, it's only $83 a month. Also, you can turn your old unused gold into cash or a stunning new piece. With gold prices soaring, there's no better time to trade up. So get that old jewelry and bring it on in. You know where, the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Omerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here, brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. They're local, they are trusted, and they get results. Go to the website, Jeeves Law Group. You get a free case evaluation. Email them, call them, and tell them JP sent you. Not attorney spokesman, offices Tampa and St. Pete. My on-course reporter is back. Anything to report?
It's a lot of good golf out there.
A lot of good golf?
Yeah.
I heard a little
weather, yeah.
cheer from the 18th over here. Somebody made a putt. So
Following Gary Woodward.
Gary Wood. Gary Woodward. Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, he's on full swing. Good dude.
Anyone get out here. It's awesome outside. The weather's just perfect. That's a great car.
Big crowds?
Pretty good crowd so far. I think the big, like Spieth and those guys are this afternoon. I think it's going to Hooters Owl time.
Come on out. And there'll be some celebrities there. I heard John Gruden's going to be there. Tracy just told me. Yeah, agrees. And the Barstool guys. And Jiminy Christmas.
The Barstool guys.
Yeah, give me some chicken wings and some beer. Yeah, there was a I don't know if you remember this, Timmy, but back when Daly was playing in this tournament, he went by, I think the Hooters Owl's Nest is over on 13.
Mm-hmm.
And, I guess Daly's caddy was having some issues, so he pulled Gruden out of the Hooters Owl's Nest, and Gruden carried his bag for like the last 5 holes.
Oh, God.
That's crazy. I love that story.
That happened. And I think he he had a few Coors Lights in the tank at that particular time. So, yeah.
How'd you like to drink with that pair? Gruden and Daly.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, I'd like to try to keep up.
Oh,
I've had quite a few with him.
John Daly,
Him Friday at Augusta at Hooters.
Yeah,
he's there. Yeah, the backseat of his truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Daly goes to the Masters,
right,
and hangs out at the Hooters across the street. And
in his RV, he'll take his RV out there.
Yeah, the whole week. Yeah, just does autographs and drinks and has a good old. Does anybody enjoy the game more than John Daly?
Man, I don't know.
He loves it.
Barefoot.
Yeah, plays barefoot. Oh. I saw one of my favorite John Daly moments happened right out here back when I was working at Channel 8, and he was in the field, one of the big draws. So his tee time was like 8:05 or something. So, and there was a lot of people out here because this was back when Daly was really big, and there was probably 10,000 people lining the first hole waiting for him. And it's like we're all looking at our watches, all the local stations are waiting for him to get here, and it's like 8:01, it's 8:02, 8:03, and everybody's looking around, where's Daly? And the pros are like, oh, don't worry, he'll be here. And like all of a sudden you see like this, from afar, you see like the crowd partying, there's a hustle and a buzz, like, oh, Daly, people start cheering. And he literally walks onto the first tee with a McDonald's bag in one hand, an Egg McMuffin, the bag and the Egg McMuffin, and a big Diet Coke in the other. And he's just choking it down. His caddy, he's like waiting for him. And, no range, no nothing.
Yeah.
Pulls a freaking club, pulls the driver, and just smashes one right down the middle. And the place just goes bonkers.
It was like
yesterday
at Temple Terrace.
It left me yesterday.
Got out of your car.
Yeah, just got out of my car and just smacked one down the middle. Yeah, that was one of my favorite John Daly memories. And he probably went on to I think he shot like 68 that day. Just just steps up and hits the ball. Just steps up and hits the ball. Just plays totally by feel. You know, and one of the greatest stories in the history of golf. For him to win 2 majors, not just one, you know, but 2 majors is you know, one of the greatest stories of all time. Just driving range pro.
Still my favorite golfer. Yep, still my favorite golfer.
Got into the PGA Championship in 86? Was it 86 when he won the PGA? I want to say 86, 87. Is it longer? Double check that for me, producer.
I thought it was 91.
Was it 91? Yeah, you may be right.
It was
right.
I was after I was out of high school. It was so 91.
Yeah, one of the great stories, and it was a Nick Price. Nick Price, wife had a baby, and he was the last one in. He drove all night long from his Arkansas home to
in his
Birmingham.
Yeah.
His
Bailey's 58 years old now.
58 years old? Wow. Yeah, I still can absolutely ton it. All right. What else we got from our here today? Daniel says, if you go to Spain, Tim, you're going to have to talk soccer. It's a huge deal over there. Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid.
Hey, you know what else is a huge deal in Spain? This guy. I can talk about whatever I want anywhere I go, and people will listen. But you know what? I'll talk soccer all day with Dan Lucas.
Yeah.
I'll do that with Dan.
Yeah. It's good,
I love that new thing he's involved in, the USL. I think it's great.
Yeah. B says, why is Baker so underpaid? He's in line for a $200 million contract. His issues were always overblown. He took less money to stay, man.
Yeah, that seems a little high anyway. I don't know if he's a $200 million. I mean, he got $100 million for 3 years.
Well, I mean, this is what is this? His second year?
This is his third
year coming up. Third year. Yeah. So this is his last year of his contract. So he had the 1 year, $4 million,
right? And then this is the second year of the 3-year deal. Yeah,
yeah. And the third year, I don't think was guaranteed, but he's getting it, right?
Yeah.
But they got to redo his deal. Yeah, they got to redo his deal. But I don't think he'll, go for the Dak Prescott $60 million.
Good God.
But we'll see if they win a Super Bowl. I think
they could potentially be having to rework Baker's deal and give Mike a new deal all in the same offseason.
Yeah.
Next offseason.
They got to pay Gedeke too.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get some money. Leon Sinosis says the tush push should be banned. You can't always properly spot the ball. I don't know, man. I like it. I think they're good at it. It's part of their strategy. I think it's one of the reasons Jalen Hurts is their starting quarterback. I don't like changing rules in midstream because nobody else can do it. I don't like that.
Yeah, if that was the case, they would have got rid of the forward pass back in the 20s.
Yeah. Mike H said you should get Colleen Wright on the show. She just did an hour interview with Locked On. I don't think she would come on our show. I've said that she's done a great job in reporting on the stadium. I really think she's done a great job, but I don't think the Times would let her. I've been critical of the Times.
Yeah, they don't like you too much over there.
They're very thin-skinned. It's all right. MLB. It's funny because they have op-eds, they have editorials, they have their opinions, they have their columnists. But if anybody takes a shot at them, Thomas Casper says MLB gains nothing by a Disney visiting fan base and smaller media bar. Yeah, I'm telling you, folks, it's not. Orlando's a big market, but it's not. I don't think it would be a good baseball market at all. Richie Floyd, who we've had on the show, St. Pete City Council, said an interview on WMNF on the Rays Stadium saga. This is something you've talked about for months. Brody has the video. I think what he's saying is that the city, as I predicted, is looking for a buyout. Now, obviously, St. Pete in the lease, they have to provide a major league stadium for the Rays, and if they can't fix Tropicana Field, they've got to do something. So I'm guessing they'll end up paying the Rays freight at Steinbrenner Field, which is $15 million. So, and if it's for 3 years, that's 45. The minimum to repair the trop is 56 million. That's the minimum. And then you get then cost overruns, right? And then you still can't redevelop the trop site. So that's a problem. And then also you got to pay $7 million a year just in insurance for the roof. So that's another 18 to 21 million dollars. It makes no sense. It makes zero sense to repair the trop. So I think you'll find out on the 27th. So next week they got to vote on that they'll be looking for some type of buyout. All right, that'll do it from the Valspar here. Fitzy and I are going to head on over to the Owl's Nest and see if we can find John Gruden and the group over there and drink a few beers and have some chicken wings. I'm good. What do you say?
I'm jealous.
All right, Timmy. I know you should be jealous. You should be jealous. Our thanks to Rondé Barber, who joined us earlier in the show. Great interview with him, talking about the Bucs and the 50th anniversary and the culture of the team. Really, really good. If you missed it, you can go watch it on our YouTube channels, on X, and always as a podcast as well. So like and subscribe, all that stuff. Thank you to Tracy West as well. Scott Hamilton. We'll be back tomorrow. Bob Herrick's going to join us from Sports Illustrated, and we'll have more surprises for you here at the Valspar. See you then. Do you have a